that thing. Oh, now that's how you start a morning, guys. We out here with Captain Ty Hibbs. We're gonna go over big trout fishing on all the artificial reefs in Lake Pontchartrain. Ty knows more about these reefs than anybody I know. We're gonna go out, we're gonna go over why fish like to hang out on reefs.
Alright, y'all, another good one. Another pretty freaking Lake Pontchartrain trout. Fishing these reefs. I'll fish a lot of these reefs in the summertime for jacks. If anybody's ever fished with me for jacks, we'll get on some of these artificial reefs after we go fish the shorelines and, you know, stuff like that. But we've poked around a couple of them for years saying, man, these trout got to get on them eventually. And some of them they do, some of them they don't. Super weird. I don't know exactly why some of them. I think some of it, a lot of it's built from like the old twin span, and some of it they use coated concrete, so some grow a bunch of barnacles and grasses and all. It takes a whole lot more years, and this time of year, it's nice to get away from the traffic on the bridges and all the community holes and catch some big, pretty trout with nobody around you.
All right, so when I say I'm bringing out the big guns, this is one of our most lifelike lures. And when I'm using these X-Shads, I always pair them with the GoldenEye screw lock. So you go in about a ½ inch, and then when you hit that corkscrew, you screw it onto there. That's going to hold the bait on. And then whenever it's paired perfectly, it just looks incredibly real. So to tie a polymer knot. Now what you want to do when you're fishing any of these reefs out in Pontchartrain, you know, there's a lot of them out here. You got a couple of them out in front of Bayou Lacombe that are really, really good. You have them east and west of the north side of the causeway. I've heard great stories about the one on the west. I think they call it Lemo's Reef. I guess there's a guy named Lemo that fishes it a lot. And then you have some on the south end of the lake, like out in front of Williams Boulevard, and so on and so forth. But you want to have a lot of jig heads handy. I just keep them in my pocket because you are going to go through a lot of jig heads when you're doing this. This particular reef is made out of the old twin span that was knocked down from Hurricane Katrina. And I know they talked to Dudley a lot whenever they took it out. They had all of that cement, and Dudley was telling them different places to put the reef. And as Ty alluded to earlier, he's been fishing these couple reefs in between the bridges for years, and I've played with them some too. If you look at some of our older dockside TVs, in the summer we'll come back here and we'll fish Jack Crevalles. The Jacks love these reefs. But what's crazy is I've been checking these reefs for years and years and years when I'm catching trout like crazy on the 11 bridge and the twin span, like you've seen in some of our previous episodes. On my way in, I'll stop by the reef, make a few casts, nothing. Year after year, nothing. And it's just amazing to me as the bridge is right there, nothing. And then all of a sudden this year, catching a lot of fish on 11, slid in here the other day, bam, big trout. And I'm glad I checked it. When you have reefs like this, I guess sometimes it just takes years for the barnacles to grow on it, or maybe the fish to find it, or whatever the case is. And over time, when you have structure under the water like this, those big trout are going to find it when they're in the area, sooner or later. These fish are so strong this time of year as we get into those warm winter days. Better have that net by you, better have a rod that can handle it, and you better be fishing with some really good equipment. I got the Matrix Fluoro, 1,000,000% a necessity right now. Ty's using this Fluoro too. This water's gin clear. These big trout like this are incredibly intelligent, and I broke out the big guns. This is probably one of my favorite lures. I use this when I'm on big trout. That's your finger mullet X-Shad paired with the screw-lock jig head. I mean, it doesn't get more realistic than that. These big trout, one of their main sources of food in the wintertime is your fin fish like a mullet. That's what they love. Just an awesome, awesome bait. Let me put this one up, and we're gonna do some catch and releasing.
Just another 20-incher. Another good one. He thumped the hell out of me. We're fishing about 8 to 10 feet of water, and I'm kind of jigging it really aggressively just to keep it out of all the trash. And he hit it probably only about 4 feet under the surface, and that's why he's kind of hook funky. See, his hook kind of in his bottom lip. It's usually how you lose them. But some big pretty fish out here in the lake. It's a hard to beat time of year. It's nice to get away from the traffic and find some big pretty ones like that. Man, that is a beautiful trout, and they've been surely missed around here the past 5 to 6 years, so nice to see it.
That's a good sign. When that's the runt of the day, baby. This reef we're fishing is really, really big, so you want to use your sonar. And what I do is anytime I get snagged on a reef, I'll press the man overboard button and mark it, and then that way I know just how huge this reef is whenever I'm fishing it. Got a pretty one right here. Get on up here. Nice, pretty fish. Look how long and skinny this guy is. Wow. But you wanna like graph this when you're pulling up to a new reef. You want to go graph it like bass anglers do, and they'll see it on their depth finder. And a lot of these guys have that fancy stuff, live scope, down scan, side scan, all of that. I'm kind of learning how to use a little bit of that, but a simple transducer with a depth finder, you'll see the humps come up, mark them. If you get snagged, mark them, and then you can know how wide this area is or whatever reef you're fishing. And this one in particular is really, really big. So you can't just focus in on one area, especially these big trout. They're spread out, and you're gonna get one here and there, one here and there. You just keep working on them. All right, another beautiful fish. Let's go ahead and pop a tag in this one. I'm going to talk about how to target big trout and why they do what they do, as we caught another one on the Matrix X-Shad. Let me get some tags. All right, so I'm going to put this tag right there by his dorsal fin. These blue tags are Matrix tags. They got our number on there and a tag number. If you recapture one, give it a call. We'll send you a prize at matrixshad.com. Let this pretty trout go. Be real gentle with them if you're going to do that. Get them back in the water as fast as you can. But so big trout, guys, what they do is they like to separate themselves from the normal fish. So you got the trestle full of pound and a half, 2 pounders. 11's got a lot of 2 to 3 pounders. The twin span's got some decent fish. But what I find is you find an area, like today, it's not fast, it's not easy, but we're getting a few bites, but the ones we're getting are hammers. We've already caught 4 over to 3.5, almost 4 pound range. And it's stuff like this where the big ones will seclude themselves. And this is the kind of stuff where I just know we have a shot at a really, really big one. As these bigger fish want to get away from the smaller ones, as it's less competition for food, and they can be a little bit lazier, as they don't want to be fighting with a lot of 1.5-pounders. So let's see if we can get one of them big mules.
Oh, no. Jesus. Really? That's where I need to throw this thing.
Another good one, baby. Another good one. Get him, Simba. Get him, Simba. I got some eating size trout in here mixed up with the mules. When that's a small one, that's a good sign. There you go. Got a little double up action here. Double hammers.
Damn.
Double hammers. I'm gonna get Ty's fish off for him. We're gonna do a double tag and let these 2 big girls go. All right, we're gonna tag both of these big girls right here. Right there. Let's let these big Mongolians tag and release, baby.
Ready? Yep.
There goes one. There goes the other. That's 2 more tags for you guys to recapture and win a prize from MatrixShed.com.
Big pretty fish. Put a tag in this one real quick. So we're just gonna pull. You don't really have to with trout. These trout are a little bigger, so I'm gonna pull a scale out just to make a soft spot. Just gonna put it in there right along the spine like that. Put it in, and you want to twist that bar back to the spine, and then give it just a slight little tug if you can, just to make sure it's set well. Let's get them back. Thank you, fish. All right, so we're looking and we're kind of using our side scan in this area a lot. Side scan's really cool. And it's been around for a while too. There's things like live scope and all, it's awesome too. And trout are kind of tough to see on sonar in general. They're pretty tough to see just because they're a soft fish, soft body fish. They don't really have hard scales that reflect the sonar back. But what you notice is if you ever see those little shadows on the side scan, and they're kind of off, but they're hugging the bottom. Trout love to hug the bottom of Lake Pontchartrain. So you'll see these little shadows, and you might see the light part of the fish too, but you really see the shadow. The shadow is what gives it away. And when I say the shadow, it literally looks like the shadow of a fish, because you got to figure when your side scan's coming out, it's being projected like this. I always say, like, if you open up a book, it's centerfold's the boat. When you open up the book, it's being projected out, so it's going to throw that shadow to the other side of the fish.
Drive that hook in these big girls, baby. Drive that hook, that Matrix rod. It's got a good, strong backbone. Redfish here. That one had me totally fooled, as all these trout's been really nice and big. And they fighting about like a 15-inch red. It's just amazing pound for pound how much power those redfish have. You catch a 22, 23-inch trout, and it's got the same fighting ability as like a 15-inch redfish. Those reds, they got a lot of heart. A lot of heart. And a different technique I'm using right now that's working well is I'm just trying to avoid the snags the best I can. So I'm popping it. Oh, that's a fish. I thought it was a snag. We'll go over this in a minute. Alright, if this is a trout, he should be pretty nice. I think it is. This should be a good one. Come on, baby. We're looking for that 5-pounder. See, when I look back down, see where my net's at? That means it's got a shot. I look back, see where this net is. I'm just trying to horse this with some of these that I'm just trying to be gentle with this one. Some of these, I've been horsing them to get them up so they could dance for the camera. But this one might have a shot to be a legit mule. So I'm being careful with him. Being careful. He's getting closer. What we got? Pretty good one. Nothing out of control, but look at that. This is a beautiful specimen right here. And flip. I do not suggest flipping fish of this size normally, but we're catching these 3 and 4 pounders so regularly today, you can get away with it. The Mega Matrix, Mega Trout here, that thing's heavy. It's like hard for me to lift it. That's a big fish. All right, this is the biggest one of the day so far today. Oh, hold on, baby. I don't want to hurt you. I want to let you go. Let you go. There she goes. That one was spunky. Remember, recapture that fish. We got 4 and 5 pounders all over this lake for you guys to recapture. Recapture it. Call the number on that tag. Win a prize from Matrix Shad. I mean, it's unreal. We done went through all of the tags I brought out today. I'm gonna have to get some more. You guys, pick you up some Matrix X Shads and some Mega Matrixes, and we've been going back and forth with those. And I mean, this thing, that's a solid 4-pounder. Going back for y'all to catch. Go get them. That's a good one. That's a good one. So I just switched over, caught back to back, kind of, as I say, small ones, not giant ones. So I switched to the big Mega Matrix, and I think I got another good one here. Oh yeah, pretty fish. Look at this beauty. Get up here. Alright, another mule. Bigger baits, bigger fish. It's always going to be the case. So I came off of that Matrix X Shad. That's still a 3-inch, even though it's as natural looking as they get. This is a 4-inch. Got it paired on a 4-aught hook. And bam, what do you know? Another one about 3.5 pounds. We're looking for that elusive 5-6 pounder. I know he's here. Just on the base on the average fish that we're catching here. Yeah, I'm gonna pop another tag. Boom, right there and there. Let's let this big girl go. If she don't swim right out your hand, get her, grab her tail. And, oh, there she goes. Grab her tail and walk her back and forth till she goes. Trout are pretty weak. You're gonna tag and release them. Make sure it's a really nice one that you do it on. Those little fish, they probably die more often than not. But when we get on these big trout, we like to release the big ones. And if we're going to release them, we try to put a tag in there. That way, if you guys recapture it, you can win a prize at matrixshad.com, like these mega matrixes that we're using right now. Now, what I'm doing is I'm throwing out, and I'm basically hoping for not a snag. Now, if you got a real snaggy area like this is, when you pop it, I'm going to pop it as hard as I can. What that's going to do is it's going to vertically jump that lure more. If you're just sitting there dribbling it like this, you're just dragging the bottom, setting you up for a more opportunity to get snagged. So pop it real hard. These big fish will get suspended, so you'll get the attention of some smaller ones. Look at that one tail walking. You get the attention of some on the bottom, some on the top, small ones, big ones, all shapes and sizes. But this reef here is producing pretty much nothing but hammers right now. So pop that lure hard, work that matrix, X shads, mega matrix. Use the big stuff is what I recommend when you're looking for a big fish in the winter and you're on some big mules like this right here. And make sure to subscribe to our monthly bait box, guys. We'll be giving out some X shads, we'll be giving out some mega matrix, we'll be giving out the goods, the best stuff that we have to catch big wintertime trout like this right here. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out a video Ty and I shot on a big solar eclipse that we had. It was like the biggest in 500 years or something. Ty and I came out here, shot a YouTube video catching the jacks. Were going bananas that day. Check that one out. Just type in Dockside TV Solar Eclipse and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as we are having a great year making videos on big trout like this in Lake Pontchartrain.